Oh, hello again. Didn't see you there. So today, going to take the opportunity, pull down the engine. Mighty RB30. This is the one I picked up a week or so ago on my side mish. Found a few things with it already. One of them being that the cam belt was on it. The tensioner was loose. And although you could turn the crank a wee bit, I didn't thoroughly check it and make sure that I could do full rotations. I'm pretty sure it's got a hung up valve because you go so far and it stops. Like the valve timing's wrong, but I've already checked that, and I'll probably put the cam belt on again and give it another go. I think it's got a stuck valve. The guy said it had been sitting under the bench in his shed for 10 years, so who knows? Who knows? A few bits missing off it. Probably could have checked it a bit better, but it's all going to get torn down anyway, so can't really blame him for any of that. He sold it as is, and I bought it as is. But yeah, so King's birthday this weekend, so I thought I'll come out in the shed. Beautiful day. Actually, come with me. I want to show you something. This is what I look at my kitchen window every day. Beautiful day, rural New Zealand. It's supposed to be winter time, but when you get this sort of sunshine, you can't argue. So yeah, can't argue with the sunshine. I'm going to spend the day in the shed. But what better way to do it than pull down an RB30? Speaking of King's birthday, did you know it used to be called Queen's birthday? Much more appropriate. I liked her better. She also, during World War II, was a mechanic in the army. So what do they call that? 1 degree of separation or something like that. Old Skeletor did well to bag that one. She was not bad looking either when she was younger. Right, so what we'll do, we're going to put the cam belt on and I'll show you. But all I want to do is recheck to see if I can rotate it or not. I'm pretty sure it's going to have a stuck valve, but looking at the state of the rust and everything, it has been sitting. But who knows? This engine may not even have been running when the guy parked it. It was his brother's or something. So nip up the tensioner. And basically, what I've done there is a cam belt change, and that's deceptive because when you take your car in for a cam belt and it costs you $1,500, $2,000, it is not that quick. This motor is out of a car, has no covers, nothing on it. Just putting the old stuff back on. So what we'd like to do is do 2 full turns to make sure everything is moving like it should in there. I guarantee it's going to lock up. So then I will take the rocker cover off and we'll have a look and see if a valve's stuck or if something else is going on. See, I'm locked up already right there. So we'll go back the other way. And we're locked up there. So I'm pretty confident we're going to have a stuck valve. So we'll pull the rocker cover and have a look in there. Excuse me, get my screwdrivers. You guys are in the way. Wrong drawer. That's what we want. Right. So I've been having a bit of a think about how I'm going to go about building this engine. I've still got to finish tearing down the body, and I've still got to do all the rust in it. But until I sell my ute and get some money in the bank, I'm not going to be buying any parts. But since I have this motor here, and I just like mechanicking, main reason I wanted to become a mechanic was to build engines in the first place. So every opportunity I get, I will do that either for customers or myself. Things are getting more and more expensive. I used to buy cars off people that I'd tow in that had blown up, or they come in and they didn't want to spend the money fixing it. But even then, even then now, at cost price and not paying labour, by the time you do a head gasket or repair a car to make it roadworthy again to a good standard to sell, it you just don't make any money, and you spend all that time, your own time, when you should be doing stuff like this for nothing. Right, so let's have a look here. So this motor has done, he reckons, I don't know if you can see that, 250,000 Ks. It looks like it's done 250,000 Ks. It's all black. It's not chunky though, so that's a good sign. So it's locking up there. Oh no, I reckon we're just going to have to pull the head, which we're going to do anyway. So I will carry on and start pulling more bits off. And anyway, I've been thinking about what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it with this thing. First of all, most people, and this is my twist on the RB30 GDR Skyline, most people will dump this head and throw a twin cam 25 or 26 head on it because it flows better. There's a reason they do it, and they're readily available. But this is a Holden VL, and it's going to stay a Holden VL, and I'm going to keep the single overhead cam, but I'm going to run twin turbos. People don't do that. I've not seen one yet. The question's been asked. For me, twin turbos is GDR. Things are more fun in pairs in some cases. You can make good power with twin turbos. Everyone goes single because it's just easier and better and more tunable, but I like the idea of twin turbos. I like the idea of single overhead cam RB30 because that's how they were built and designed. They came out factory turbo in the VL Commodores. Some of them making 2,000 to 3,000 horsepower at the wheels. I mean, that's a fully built motor, but there's no reason, like a stock bottom end, these are good for 900 to 1,000 horsepower. If you do forged pistons, forged rods, get the crank balance and everything, you can go up from there. The heads need to be flowed a bit better. You can get a cam, different cams in them, different valve springs so they don't bounce, things like that. Then you need a proper fuel system. The thing is getting the airflow through it. So once you got your turbos right, and there's many different types of turbos, once you figure that out and get it flowing, then you can start hunting your big numbers like your 900 horsepower. And when I say 900 horsepower, I don't even know if that's at the wheels or if it's going to be at the flywheel. I'm picking flywheel because my Vortec is supposed to be 220 horsepower. I just wanted to do 4 times the horsepower. 900's a big number, sounds good. It's realistic. Like I say, I'm gonna have to spend money on it, but this is a car I've wanted to build for a very long time. Turbos, I don't know what I'm gonna do there. There's a lot to turbos. You don't just chuck them on, wind up the boost and get lots of power. You have to, there's different intakes, different exhausts, and then different compressor wheels and everything. Then you got to match your fuel system. Too much boost, not enough fuel, you just melt things, which is one reason you run stronger rods and forged pistons. Just gonna cut that. Crusty old hose. Another one under here. There's probably going to be a reason why this motor's sitting under someone's bench and not in a car. But anyway, 250,000 K sounds a lot, but if it's had its oil changes and been looked after, it'll be no problem. What else is under the bracket? Alright, do it the slow way. A lot of the high horsepower cars are in Aussie. There's more and more high horsepower GTRs in New Zealand, which is exciting to see. You can get a lot of good products, but definitely I think the Aussie scene has exploded. You've got the likes of Andrew Hawkins and Motor Video, PRP Racing, Matooks, all those guys running massive horsepower GTRs. That doesn't even match. It's a lot of inspiration. And the good thing too is when heaps and heaps of people are doing it, you can learn from what their mistakes or their recipe, what combo they've built the engines with, depending on horsepower and all that sort of stuff, what they're chasing, what they're doing with it, whether it's drag racing, street racing, drifting. They all have slightly different setups and budgets. But very looking forward to GTR Festival next weekend. Andrew Hawkins is actually coming over, so it might be cool to kind of try and meet him. He's got some seriously cool cars. His one I'm looking forward to seeing done eventually when he can is his Project No Secrets, which is a gold R32. He's used the top secret gold color, but he's called it Project No Secrets, and they're walking through every step of the build. It's an R32 GTR. Yep, that'll hurt. Which are not my favoritist of body style for Nissan, but when they're a GTR and they're wide body, and yeah, they're pretty sick. There's actually one in town I worked on. I might put that video up on this channel. I got the owner's permission to do it for the workshop. Did a bunch of stuff for that. Very cool car as well. Just needs to get it out on the road a wee bit more. It's the wrong size bolt. So this engine's been apart before. You find one or two little things that give it away. One wrong size nut, and it's like, yep, this inlet's been off. So it'll be interesting to see. It's been on here for quite a while, so I wonder if it had a head gasket at some point. May have had a recon at some point. That'd be a bonus. Hopefully the bores are good. The main thing is that the crank is good, and hopefully it hasn't been bored out. So then if we have to bore it out, we've still got plenty of meat left. If I had an unlimited budget, I would get a PRP brand new cast block. And who knows? Maybe that'll happen as things progress, but not too sure. I know machining costs have gone up, everything's gone up, so it may actually work out better just to order one of those PRP blocks. They've put a lot of research into it, and they've gone into production, so it's quite exciting. They do a lot of billet stuff already, but they've made the steel block, it's stronger, it's got thicker walls, it's better for boring out. All of that good stuff. Go. Bit of a wiggle. Oh yeah, at least it's just a bracket. There's always something that holds you up that you don't see. It's like when you're pulling an engine, you can guarantee there is a hose or usually an earth strap holding you up that you forgot to undo. So that's the inlet off. Pull that cam belt off again. Actually, what we might do, rotate the crank to a certain point where all the pistons are down. We should be able to roll the cam over, and then we can see if, oh come on, then we can see if all the valves are good or not. Like if one's stuck, then the cam won't. We'll have a lot of play on one of the rockers. What if I try loosening it? That will probably help. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Easy. But Mike, you've been doing engines for years. Yeah. I haven't been on YouTube for years. Usually I'm concentrating more on what I'm doing then. So that'll be that will be those pistons at the bottom. So if we go like that much, maybe see. So now I'm turning the cam. Actually, we should see if a valve. So the back two are good. Number 5's good. Number 4's good. Number 3's good. Number 2's good. Number 1's good. So something strange is going on here. What's the valve hitting? I mean, what's the piston hitting? Bent valve maybe? Nah. Let's go back to basics. They're on the rocks. That's, yeah, so straight up and down. I reckon we just pull the head and be done with it. And there was one spark plug that was stuck. The other day I pulled spark plugs out just to see. When I was spinning it, just made it a bit easier. This spark plug did not want to move, and I didn't want to strip it, so I've had it soaking. That's way better. The other possibility is there's something in the sump that is not happy. Who knows? Now that we've removed this, let's put it back on, like the 8th time. At least we're getting good at this bit. So for those who don't know what a cam belt is, other than not liking the fact you've got to pay for one every 60 to 100,000 Ks, it's literally a belt that connects the bottom of the engine to the top of the engine. As the pistons inside here go up and down, which I'll show you later, it turns the cam, which opens and closes the valves at different times, one letting fuel in, one letting exhaust out. They have to be all timed correctly or they break, and then you end up with a very expensive engine. That's pretty solid. Let's just pull the head. Now, sometimes you have your big bolts that hold the head down, but on the RBs you have these tiny little ones at the front, and if you don't get those as well, and you try and pry the head off, there's another one at the back, there's one on each corner. If you don't get those, you snap them off, you can damage your head, you can damage your block. Not fun. So I get these 3 little bolts first before I forget, because, you know, when you're not concentrating. And once I've got the head off, I'll flip it over, we'll have a look, see if there's any bent valves. I'm going to pull the rockers off before I do that too. Just lay them all out nicely. Also a good tip when using impacts is to stop oil splattering all over you. Use a rag. And do everything nice and evenly. what I'll do is I'll show you this. These are the head studs that hold it on. They are full of gunk and crap from years and years of hot oil, and what we do is we just pick all that out. I don't know if you see that, years of gunk. Pick all that out so that when I put my socket in there, it doesn't just round out the bolts, and it actually the bolts will come out. Can you see? There we go. So let's do that. Been watching some YouTube on GDRs and restorations, and these dudes like Tommy F here at Garage Zero does some very high-end restorations, some great tunes. There's guys in the UK at SR Auto Bodies. They're actually developing a kit for a electric power steer rack for the R32 that just bolts straight in. I'm quite keen on that. No hydraulics, no power steer pumps off the engine. There's other cool things out there too now, like 12 volt aircon compressors that have an electric motor rather than running a belt off the motor, so you can boot mount them or whatever and tidy up your engine bay. Less drag on the motor, and just tidies everything up nicely. Also means you don't have to have your engine running to use your air conditioning. You probably just want a good battery so it doesn't go too flat. Right, now I've got a feeling that you're in the way again. Oh no, there we go. See? You have more tools than you know what you're doing with. Probably should have drained this motor while I was doing this too. Actually, I will do that. I don't think there's much oil in it, but it doesn't take much to make a massive mess. Oh yeah, there's a good amount there. But it's not got water in it, so that is a good sign. You're in the way again. Where's the best spot? There we go. That's that. Gonna make some room here. No, no bent valves. Hang on, I'll show you in a second. Oh, good, no lip in the bore. That's good news. Let me put the rags up there. Honestly, no mice is in there. Right, have a look at this. All the valves are sitting nice and flat in their little seats. So it wasn't hitting the valve. So that's a bonus. Right. And let's have a look and see. Oh, I know why they smell, because I was gonna say it's all a bit wet. That's weird, but I did spray some stuff in there. So this head gasket is good. These old composite gaskets, you can usually see if they're blown. This one's looking good. So now, let's spin the engine, spin this and see if we get a full revolution. There's something in the bottom end, or a spun bearing. Oh, please don't be a spun bearing. There's no lip in those bores. That I am stoked about. Ah, oh, don't be a spun bearing. That means machining. Mind you, we're going to put different rods in it anyway, different pistons, but oh, it's going to need real good hone up. That's not what's catching, is it? Is it the rings catching there? Have I got 500 grit? Let's put the plug back in for now. I wonder if that little bit of rust is grabbing the rings. That might be what it is. Because it'd be weird for something in the bottom end to pick up like that. Like, let's see if we can get this in the sun. So I'll show you. So let's get rid of that. That was just surfacey. It's bit of in there though, eh? Right. So we get to there. Unless there's rust in the... So we get that far and it locks up. That's almost all the way down. Wondering if... Okay, let's spin her over, pull the sump off, see what's in the bottom end. Okay. So what we don't want to do is make a mess. We've drained a bit of that oil out. Alright. Pretty gunky, as you can see. Not as bad as some, but this thing was never... Oh yeah, look at that. Just years of sludge. It was never going to go straight in and be run like it was. Let's pull a few more bits off and see what the insides are like. Actually, we're gonna try and spin it again and see if we can see that O-ring's pretty good. This motor's been had work done. Has to have. See what we can see. Something is locking up real solid, like real solid. Be interesting to see if we undo all the rods. What we want to do though, we want to stamp everything, even if we are not using these rods again, we want to mark everything to come out. So that's 1. We won't bother marking 6 because that's a lot of marks, but we want to mark the rest of them. There's loads of ways you can do this, but it's easy just to punch them with a dot or a line with what number piston they are. And you do it on the front edge so you know which way around they go back in also. Well, this is going further than I planned, but just don't plan stuff, eh? Just roll with it. So we're going to pull all these pistons and put them in a box so we don't lose them. It's a pretty good teardown, I think we're doing today, actually. So you also want to put the caps and the nuts back with the piston that they come off. And we're going to... these bearings are not bad so far. Oh, it's messy work. Could even be the oil pump locking up, you know. See if it'll turn with 2 pistons out, or if it's still gonna lock up. Still gonna lock up. Okay, let's do the middle 2. See what happens. Gotta say, all these bearings are worn, but looking pretty good. The pistons also have the number of the pistons stamped on it, which is helpful. I don't know if you can see in that light the numbers stamped on the rods. And that, yeah, it's just good to have everything numbered so you know where it goes back in. Very helpful when you're not going to use it again, but who knows? Who knows? Budget dictates a lot, doesn't it? Shouldn't normally tap on the ends of threads like this either, but there's a bit of resistance there. Number 3. Get that bearing off the crank. Oh, okay, so both bearings stayed on the crank that time. Oh, dang it. Can he get his fingies in there? Yes, he can. Try turn the crank again and see if 2 less. Nope, still jamming. Crank looks good though. I don't know how those guys do those lives, and they just keep talking for an hour and a half. I mean, Hoodin's Fab Shop, he's awesome at it. I guess it takes time, but alright, he does like almost a 2-hour video with a little bit of editing, but he just knows how to talk while he's doing stuff. Like, I guess you learn it. I find I start out that way, but then I've got to concentrate on what I'm doing also. Otherwise, like right then, I forget to talk. Other than that locking up thing, it's really weird. I'm liking the look of this motor internally. What are we up to? Knock that one out. Pull that out. Put it there. So there's no lip. All of those pistons just slid straight out. No lip to bind them up at all on the rings, which is good. Rings are nice and free. She's not bad. She's done some work, but I mean, she's not scared. Give her a lick of her paint and fix up all the oily bits. Yeah, there is nothing in there other than the crank. So let's... What the heck? So which piston was binding and why? What the heck? Now I'm going to flick it over and probably get the fright of my life. Okay, so they're like, okay, number 5's looking a bit, oh yeah, the bottom of those bores. Cool. We get to the bottom of it, fellas. So that's spinning freely. Doesn't have any float. Has a couple of bearings somewhere, either at the end or in the middle, which stops the crank moving forwards and backwards. They can wear, especially when you've got a super heavy clutch. Right, let's spin this over again. Have another look at those bores. Pretty hard to see in here, to be honest. Oh yes, there's some junk at the bottom, but they did go quite a way down. I'm going to get a torch. Hang on. Oh. Yeah. I see now. Dang it. Dang, 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 dang. There's the good stuff in there. Right. Show you what we got. Reason it would not rotate. Because see that crusty stuff? No bueno. There's some more there. So the thing is, how bad is that scared? And so number 2 and number 5, the rest are got a little bit from where it's just been sitting. Obviously got a bit of moisture in there, and I wonder if that's because he had no exhaust manifold on it. A couple of the valves would have been partially open. It's just let crap in there. See how bad it is. Be too bad if I got my hands stuck in there, eh? Oh, it feels pretty solid on those rusty ones. Ooh. Oh no. Actually got to hone stuff, all the stuff at work to hone these. Oh, that does not feel good at all. No. Ah, man. what was looking like. A good block. Oh no, that's pretty bad. Oh, have a look at this. That's pretty bad. Don't know if it shows you. Like, should be nice like this. Not like that. It's pretty hard to show the rust actually. I don't know if you can see that, it actually sticks out, protrudes. It's been, yeah, not too good. Oh well, should have done full rotations when I bought it and save myself a wee bit of money, but who knows, might be able to hone it out, probably bore it out, we'll see. But yeah, so that is one pulled apart, well mostly pulled apart RB30. The next step is to take the head to get hardness and crack tested, decide what we're going to do in terms of valve size and things like that, and then get this block measured up and see how much we're going to bore it out if we can, if it hasn't been already, and get the crank measured and tested. I do have some tools at work, so I might try and do that tomorrow. We will see. If there's more of this video, that's what I've done. Otherwise, see you at GDR Festival. Alright, so I did a thing Saturday afternoon, completely pulled the block down. I'll show you. Then I did a thing and got carried away. I've gone over the block, I pulled the girdle, the crank, pulled all the frost plugs out, taken the whole front off the motor. So she's basically completely bare block. The crank's just sitting in there at the moment. I checked all the bearings and everything looks good. The crank looks good. The rods look good. The bearings actually have written on them still. I don't know how well this is going to come up, but they still have standard stamped on them. So that's for the crank. And then the rod bearings also the same. So I don't know. It's always a mystery when you get an engine that you don't know anything about. So that's a rod bearing. It's got standard as well. So this motor may never have been apart. It may have been apart for a freshen up at some point. It's definitely had the sump gasket done, and there were a couple of inlet manifold bolts that weren't quite right. So I've been doing some research on my Falcon motor. What I'm going to do to this engine, I mean, I thought about things like putting in the bigger valves and the head studs and a metal head gasket all ready for bolting in a bigger cam later when money allows, but then you got to relieve pistons, and you know, like dudes are making, there's a couple of guys on the RB forums at the moment making 1,000 rear wheel horsepower off cast crank rods and standard pistons. So I don't know, bigger valves may not have to do machining, which is money I don't want to spend on these. I may as well just buy my forged pistons. So we'll wait for that. So I think what the plan is, I'm going to have a quick measure. There's all these old engine measuring tools I got with my business, so I'm going to have a crack at that. Haven't done it since Polytech because you don't need to, you just pay a machinist. I'm going to have a quick measure, make sure everything is standard, and I think we're going to get the block surface tested, cleaned. The crank will do a few things too, like a bigger crank collar. We may get that balanced while it's there, because if it's a good crank, we'll use that for the big motor. The head will just get surfaced, and yeah, just new rings and bearings. The biggest question mark is if I can hone out those 2 cylinders with the rust in it, so I'm going to have a go at that, which we'll do now. I'll show you that bit, and yes, you might be just a slap together rebuilder just to get the car going, and then ideally a PRP brand new block would be mint, but we'll see if we can sneak that one past the wife. Alright, so I'll show a few of these tools I've got. These are precision engineering tools that we got when we bought the business, and I'm glad I kept them. Some of them are like super old. Machine shops use these all the time. Most little garages won't anymore because just the time, and you get out of practice, and like this is for measuring bores. So I'm going to have a crack with that and just see if I can figure it out. Like I say, I haven't done it since tech. But yeah, I just want to make sure my bores are spec or close. The old verniers, just everyone knows how to use those if you've got to measure stuff. This is a spring ring compression tool. So once I've given that a hone, I'm going to put all the pistons back in and see if we can rotate that assembly. And if we can get full rotation, that'll be mint. Depends how bad that rust hones out. But yeah, so these are some of the things machinists use. I'm going to start off pretty loose and just use my verniers. So you can set these up to millimeters, inches, whatever you want. You do have to make sure you zero them every time, and then as you slide, gives you a different measurement. So let's do that on the crank. So big ends is where the rods go. Let's try this one. Just see. So these 49.96. All right. Go over to me little book. Probably doing it inside the block's not the best idea. Let's try that again. $49.49. So where's that rod? That bearing. Which is it? In this in part number. Might just Google that. Bear with. Man, I can hardly read this. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 6, 7. S 0, 0. Yada. Connecting rod bearing. Well done. Housing standard. Shaft size 49.96 to 49.974. Well, so there you go. Google's amazing. We used to have lots of manuals and things for this sort of stuff, but you can't get books anymore. I've probably got them at work somewhere. Actually, I should dig them out. So, well, that's correct then. Off my verniers. That's a bit of an anticlimax, isn't it? When I was hoping to use all my fancy tools. 49.5. Yep. Yeah, 49.96. Wow, that's excellent. So that crank. So the big ends are good. Let's Google the main and see what that says. Let's see, what does this number say? 12239. Oh, should show that here. 12239 42 L00. All this detective work is good fun. Months. This instead of main bearing. Oh yes, that's funny. On the rod bearings, it gave a size. But this one it doesn't. Okay, so we're going to measure it. let's check it with, to do this, I'm going to pull the crank. Zero. So this is real rough. Like, if I was really going to do this properly, I'd be using the other tools, but I'm going to spend some time Googling 54.96. 54.96 is what, over it, the more confusing it can get. Yeah, 54. So the big ends, there you go, 49 and 49. Okay, let's do this one again. .87. All right. So these are the bearings. They're replaceable, and they come in different sizes depending how much wear on the crank. But you'll see there's a reasonable amount of wear, but nothing I wouldn't expect not to see. So that one's just about had enough. That's the thrust bearings. They're different. On the sides they have like a extra piece to stop the crank moving forwards and back. It's called end float. If you have a really heavy clutch that wears out, the crank moves and you end up with all sorts of horrible things happening inside your engine. But yeah. So we'll give, that's that horrible piece there. We're going to give that a hone and just see how pitted it is. A little bit on that one, and then number 2, it's not looking very good. Right, let's quickly check the bores. There is no lip there at all, which I'm stoked about. Again, I'm going to do it the wrong way with the verniers, just to see. The thing is, oh, these are pretty well round. When a piston goes up and down, the crank's rotating like this, so the piston's pushing against the sides. So it will wear slightly oval over time. But our bore should be 85 to 80, no, 86. So these verniers are obviously not quite bang on. And I'm not using them. They seem to measure everything just under what it should be. Okay, so that's good. So there are various types of hones. These are not really favoured, but do a job. This is made up with sandpaper, which I'm going to use to knock the tops off. And then the proper one, which you would use for finishing, has these stones on, which give it that smooth finish. This one's had a bit of a hard time. Might need some new stones. Let's get this a bit better. All right, we're going to get in, not that one, that's pretty good, but this one here, number 4 cylinder. We're going to start with that and see what happens. I mean, I can't make it any worse. Or can I? Famous last words. Hey. Get a rag in there. Let's see if we made any difference. Or if we've made it worse. She's pretty pitted, I think. she's not happy. Right. It's now the worst one. The worst one. Oh, I don't know if you can see in there. Number 2 cylinder, the worst one. Oh, it's thick. I don't know. That's money. There's too much of that stuff. Oh yeah, she's bad, bro. Yep. All right. So in conclusion, we have a block that needs a bit of machining. Overall, not bad. I believe we have a great crank. We'll get that checked out, and we have a head that's going to need a machine and a good soak. So I think in tossing up what to do here over the last couple of days, I think depending how much that's going to have to be bored out, or because it's going to need it, will depend if we can just go oversized rings. If we have to start looking at pistons, we'll just go full Forrest Gump and do it properly. Otherwise, if that can be mildly bored out some oversized rings, we will do that. Put the engine together, get the car going, and then start saving up for our PRP block. But yeah, so that is this weekend's adventures. Next Saturday is GDR Festival. Really looking forward to that one. So yeah, watch out for that video. Ciao.